So today we're going to jump right into this. We're going to talk about something that people ask me a lot, people wonder about, and if you've never driven an EV, if you've never had a Tesla, if you're thinking about taking the plunge, you might be asking yourself, why would I want it? Why would I want an EV? When there's gas stations everywhere, I have a gas vehicle, that's what I'm used to. More importantly, why wouldn't you want an EV? So that's what we're going to be diving into today. I'm going to be talking about 10 of the first things that came to mind when I was thinking about it, when people ask me why you took the EV plunge, specifically in a Tesla, and then maybe help you make some decisions, make some choices. So we're going to jump right into that and go from there. So sit back, relax. You guys are watching the Tall Tesla Guy. So starting right off the bat, I can tell you I've had my car, our Tesla Model Y, for over a year. We love nearly everything about it. And when I say nearly, because there's always a couple of things here and there. Build quality issues, that sort of thing. But honestly, it's not something that impacts my daily drive, and it's not something that even crosses my mind once I get moving in the vehicle. It's that much more fun to drive than my gas vehicle, and I enjoy it every time I get behind the wheel. But one of the things to consider when you're talking about jumping into an EV or even a Tesla is the EV credit, right? You can't get through a list without talking about the EV credit. It's not something that's here yet, but it could be a major player in the game. It could be a major deciding factor for people. Saves you about $10,000 off the car. Saving money is always key. It's always an important part of any decision, and getting that EV credit can't hurt. So I put it as number one on the list, but honestly I can tell you that it didn't even cross my mind when we placed our order for our Tesla Model Y. I didn't know if the EV credit was ever going to come. They've been talking about it for years, and who knows, it may not even come at this point. So I can say that I bought it without even thinking about it. And moving forward, I would buy it again, not taking into consideration the EV credit. But I wanted to let you guys know about it. You've seen hundreds of videos about it, I'm sure. I've made a few of them talking about it. So saving $10,000 right off the bat might be a major reason to jump into the EV market. Tesla specifically, a lot of this stuff is going to be Tesla specifically. You guys know I have a Tesla, like I said. So a lot of this comes off my personal experiences. One thing that Tesla has over any other EV is the range. You can't get that kind of range with any other EV on the market currently in production. Lucid Air is talking about making a 500-mile range EV. Now, I'm not talking about a hybrid or anything like that. I'm talking about 100% electric, no engine at all, right? So Tesla has over 300 miles of range. Now, this is EPA range on every single one of their models that's currently in production, right? You can't find that with any other car. In fact, the closest, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, the premium edition long range battery, whatever it is, comes close to 300 miles, maybe 303, but that's the next closest. And that just launched last year. And Tesla's been around for about 10 years. In fact, moving forward with the launch of the 4680 batteries, we should be getting closer to 400 miles of range on every single one of their cars. So that alone is a huge thing, because no matter what anybody says, range anxiety is something that creeps in your mind when you're driving around in an electric vehicle. You just don't have gas stations everywhere. Which actually kind of jumps into my number 3 reason for a Tesla specifically, but EVs in general, is a charging network. Now, it doesn't have to be Tesla, because there is ChargePoint, Electrify America, that sort of thing, where you can charge your EV that's made by Volkswagen or Porsche or any other company that makes an EV. However, Tesla is the only company that has a supercharging network, and currently Tesla's the only one that can use the supercharging network. The supercharging network is actually, they claim it to be everywhere you want to be, and it predominantly is. Now, we charge most of the time at our house, but I do know when I go on the road, I don't have to think about or worry about range anxiety because of the fact that there's a Tesla supercharging network. The only part about it that gets me is that you do have to stop, obviously like you would in a gas vehicle, and it does take a little bit longer. So if you spend 10 minutes at a gas station filling up, grabbing a snack, you're about 15 to 20 minutes at a supercharger. Now, there's plenty of stuff to do in the car, which is number 4 in my mind, the infotainment system. While you're waiting at a supercharger, you can watch YouTube, Disney+, Hulu, whatever you want while you're sitting there. It's super entertaining, it's super fun, it's great for the baby. There's even games that you can play in the car. So the infotainment screen is a huge part about it, but it ties right in with the supercharging network, because obviously you don't do that while you're driving, but while you're charging, it gives you something to do. It's kind of nice, passes the time, helps it move by a little bit faster. But like I said, range anxiety is something you're going to think about, but it's not something that's going to weigh heavily on you, I promise you that. Especially once you go on your first road trip. But space and storage. Well, EVs don't have an engine, so you have this wonderful frunk space in the front of it. In fact, the Ford Lightning F-150 has a whole charging station, and you can put a cooler in there, and there's a drain and all that kind of stuff. Tesla has a huge one in the front of it too. We put a storage compartment thing with a soft-sided cooler in it. You have 2 sub-trunks in the back. You have side pocket compartments. There's no center transmission in the car. So you have a completely flat floor in the back, which is really nice. The center consoles are really deep. You can put a lot of stuff in them. 70 cubic feet of storage space in it with the seats folded down. You could potentially put in a sheet of plywood, sheet of drywall if you wanted to. I never did, nor will I, because I want to use it as a daily driver car. I never bought it to be a utilitarian kind of vehicle. If I was going to do that, I would have bought a truck, right? Or maybe the Cybertruck when it comes out. But nonetheless, the space is there. It comes in handy for us. We have a baby. We have a tons of stuff in tow with the baby. On top of that, I have a large golden retriever dog who can fit in the back perfectly. I'm 6'5". I need a little bit more shoulder room, elbow room, that sort of thing. And I fit in the car fantastic. So it's one of those things that you get in an EV, specifically Tesla being the largest on the inside, that you don't have in a gas vehicle. At least not of comparable size anyway. So it's a fantastic feature and it's a fantastic reason to kind of jump into the EV market, especially if you want the space. Now, one thing with EVs is they can be radical. A lot of people are concerned about them. They're concerned about having a Jetson type of vehicle. Well, I can say that Tesla's not. Now, some people don't like the scoop on the front of it. I love the design and the styling of the Model Y, the Model 3, certainly the Model S and the Model X anyway. So I might be a little bit biased on this, and it's very heavily opinionated, or it's however you like it, what you're looking for in a car. But styling, without question, on EVs is going to be a little bit more radical than you'll find in a gasoline vehicle. Now, not to speak about the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is a radical design by choice, something Elon specifically said he was going for with it. But outside of that, though, predominantly normal-ish, but it's got a little bit of flair to it, and I kind of like that. In fact, Tesla's just recently mentioned that they're launching new colors. Who knows, maybe we'll get a burgundy, a yellow, a green. Currently, you only have 5 choices to pick from, unless you wrap the car aftermarket or something like that. But with more colors down the road, with just kind of adding to the styling features, they're making constant changes, at least in the technology and on the inside, probably eventually on the outside too. Who knows? That might be a reason to kind of jump into the market and do more than just get your feet wet. So tying right in with the styling of the car, specifically in my case, we have a Tesla Model Y long range, like I said. One thing our car has, the feature of this vehicle that you just don't find in any other car, is this panoramic glass roof. Goes all the way from the front, A-pillar I guess, all the way to the back of the car. In fact, it's seamlessly into the trunk space since it's a hatchback anyway. I love the panoramic roof. It's an amazing feature of the car. I like that it's safe in that it can hold 5 times the weight of the vehicle if it were to be flipped upside down, which it's hard to flip them over anyway. But I just love the view from it. It makes me feel like I'm in a convertible. As far as I know, you don't have any other vehicle that's like that. Now, I know the Model X has a glass roof that starts from the windshield all the way back, but that's another Tesla. So outside of Tesla, I'm not sure of any other company that just has this roof that's unencumbered from the front all the way to the back. A fantastic feature of the car, and in my opinion, one of the best styling features of the Model Y. So Tesla is also known, outside of that, of being the first ever complete EV vehicle that's mass produced on such a global scale that they have. They also have this rocket speed, right? So we have the Tesla Model Y, and in my opinion, it's the fastest car I've ever been in. As a grocery getter, daily driver, put the family in the car and go 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, closer to 4 seconds. If you get the performance, it's under 4 seconds, is an amazing feat. And it's an amazing feeling too. It's just that comfort that you get knowing that you can just zip out there and go if you wanted to. I don't race people anyway, but it's nice to know that it's there. It's that feeling of pushing yourself back in the seat when you hit that accelerator. You just don't get with any other car. Certainly not without being an EV. It has that instant torque. It's got a real low center of gravity, so you can kind of feel the road as you're moving, and it's a wonderful feature of the Tesla. In fact, one of the reasons why I miss driving the car when I don't have it is that acceleration. It just really adds that enjoyment to the drive in general. So another thing with Teslas, and I guess you could consider the EV credit as part of this too, it's competitively priced. Now, it's a really subjective thing to say, because it depends on what you're looking for in a vehicle as far as price range goes. Now, you can always find cheaper vehicles. I can't say aftermarket because Teslas are going pretty expensive aftermarket too, but you can find cheaper vehicles. In fact, the Tesla Model Y is pushing $55,000, which is well beyond the average range for what people might be looking for if you're looking for, say, a $35,000 car. But you add things in like the EV credit, you get the standard range Model 3, you start throwing in things like that, gas savings, potential federal government tax breaks for EVs, all that sort of stuff, and it gets well below $30,000. It makes it more and more affordable depending on where you live and what you're doing with it. So it can be one of those cars. Now it's kind of a stretch to say it's an affordable vehicle, but it's priced equivalent, in my opinion, to other vehicles with the same specs, the same acceleration, the same styling, interior space, and design. In fact, any other EV specifically is going to be way more priced. The Lucid Air Dreamliner car is $170,000 starting, and it's not even in production yet. It maybe has more than 400 miles of range, which is great. At $165,000, it puts it way above what most people are looking for in a car. And the closest thing to the Tesla Model Y, Model 3 is going to be probably the Ford Mach-E. So if you're looking for something close to it, maybe the Ford Mach-E is going to be close, but if you want to get the performance, if you want to get the styling, the range, all that kind of stuff, you're getting closer to 60, which is pretty close to the price of a Tesla Model S, and you're going to be faster and be able to go further with it. So Tesla has kind of that price sweet spot. Now, one of the things that they have going for them over any other car is that's all they do. Now, I know Elon is involved in 5, 6, 7, 8 other different ventures. However, Tesla only makes electric vehicles. They never started on the other way and went backwards. Whereas Elon designed it from the ground up. He designed it around the battery, designed it around the space, the acceleration, the styling. It happens so that one of the designers on Tesla was tall as well. So it benefits me being 6'5" that I can fit in there. A lot of these cars were designed for taller people. So these are just a few of the things that I was thinking of. A few of the reasons to say why you should jump out there and buy a Tesla. Maybe not wait for the EV credit, maybe not wait for the 4680 battery, but buy it now if it's something that you're thinking about. And more importantly, why wouldn't you buy it? There's so many things that are beneficial to owning an electric vehicle, other than cost savings and the enjoyment of driving again. Just down the road, who knows where it's going to go. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Is there anything I missed? Is there something that's way off base? Throw it down there. Either way, I hope you guys have the opportunity to smile a little bit. You guys are having a fantastic week, month so far, jumping into the holiday season, and that you're staying safe out there. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Have a great day.